and welcome to my channel Fictional Latitude. I'm Deborah and today I'm going to show you what state, and state is the right word, what state my bookcases are in, and to give you a clue as to how I intend to rectify this. Whether that works, of course, is another matter. And I'm also going to give you a little clip of Torre del Mar, which is a town close to where I live, beachside town, and I really love it because it has book exchanges on the beach. It has a biblioplaya, which is like a library beach, a little place for reading to kids, or well, maybe not even kids, maybe to adults. So and it's just got a great beach, great promenade, fantastic little town. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that. But first, I'm going to show you the chaos that is my study and the bookcases in my house. You're going to have to excuse the fact that A, I have 3 dogs, B, I'm an absolute domestic slut. I can doing housework is like, what? So excuse the mess, basically, is what I'm saying. But here we go. So let me just turn you around. I'm going to flip this so I can see what I'm showing you. And we have here, this is where I usually stick the camera when I'm filming. So the light's atrocious in here, honestly, it's like living in a cave. So I have Shakespeare at the top, I've got classics here, some, well, no, it's all about classics and Rome and Athens and everything. And then here I've got stuff about language and some, I love these little books, excuse my swear word card. You know, the introductions to and stuff like that. And I am currently writing some which are an introduction to Italian masters. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, I've got to give myself the time to do that. Then I've got travel books down here. As, you know, clue. It's a globe. There's a compass. Can't see in the dark, honestly. And then down at the bottom I've got poetry, language and some other random books. And then in the corner that I really don't want to show you, we've got a massive crap. Lots of stuff from my masters, all the paperwork and stuff. It's my gothic corner, but it's turned into disaster zone. Okay. Then on the other side of the room, hello Nacho, beautiful boy, we have the fiction. So alphabetised, oh my goodness, in alphabetical order. Can't get my teeth in. With a few dead dogs actually. I've got their ashes there. That's my beautiful Charlie, best dog ever in the world. There's my beautiful Jake. My gorgeous Austin, who is my first dog. And then on the floor, we've got, some filming I did about 3 weeks ago. Grief. Then over here we have my Agatha Christie bookcase, which is looking a bit more cluttered than when I filmed the other day, to show which Agatha Christie books I've got. So up here I've gone very literal because I'm a bit like that sometimes. I've got a magnifying glass. I kept a candle which has got sort of Art Deco pattern on it. Got a couple of Agatha Christie biographies. Then I've got my plastic cup from Berg Island, which I did have a cider from. And a rosary, and obviously a light. And then here I have the start of my collection being built back up again. Hopefully that's focusing, because guess what? I haven't put my glasses on. I'm rubbish. And then one's in predominantly Spanish, because I happened to find I went into a second-hand furniture shop, and they also happen to have those books. So I grabbed those, and then out into the very dingy hallway, and we have another bookcase, and this has mainly history books on it and random stuff. And then here we have another bookcase which has got, these are about writing on the top. It's very dark, I'm very sorry, that's just the hallway. And here we have some medieval history on the next shelf. Then down here, which you can't see, so I'm not even going to bother trying to focus, there are psychology, philosophy, etc. books. And then carrying on down in my dark hallway into the bedroom is my random, I don't know what it is, bookcase. Again, the light's rubbish. And that does have nice twinkly lights around it. And it's just got random books in it. So there's that. And then back out, follow the dogs. Into the living room, where I have, in my nice, I love this chair. I rarely get to sit in it, because the dogs sit on it instead. Anyway, I have a bookcase which is mainly knickknacks and things, and then an unholy mess at the bottom of art books, gardening books, random stuff. That's full of books. It's just disastrous, really. So that's where we are so far. Let's go back. Honestly, this house is really bad for filming because it's so dark. Outside, it's beautiful. Look at that blue sky, birds and bees and all that sort of stuff. Okay, let me turn you around. Ta-da, I'm back. So what I'm going to do is try and organise it better into subject matter. We're going to see how that goes. And I have 2 more bookcases that I bought, not the massively big Billy ones like here, the smaller one which I showed you with the philosophy and writing books on. And I'm going to put those in the hallway on the... Oh gosh, I'm going to take it back out because really... I'm going to go on this wall here, where I currently have a couple of certificates for dog training, not for me training the dogs. And so, yes, I'm going to put those there and try and organise my book collection better and leave room for the inevitable purchase of new books. So that's the plan for next week, because the Italian turns up on Saturday and I'm going to put him to work. I could do this on my own, of course, but you know, it's always better to be nattering to someone when you're painting a wall, because I mean it's dark so you can't tell, but they do need painting. So that's the plan. That's the plan for next week. So this morning, as I say, I was in Torre del Mar. I went to see a client. You can hear the dogs barking in the background, so I'm going to shut the window. And I got there early, forgot it was market day, so it was heaving in the centre. Had a walk along the beach, along the promenade, and it's nice. I dropped a book off at the book deposit and went to the Biblioplaya, people reading, playing cards, that sort of thing. And then went via the market. I love market day, but I just don't like that many people. And so unfortunately I couldn't film very much of it because it literally was a question of people's backs and people's feet. So that was no good at all. Torre del Mar. part of the book beach, or library beach. Chess or drafts, read newspapers, play cards.
Níspero, níspero. Meloni. Meloni. Hey, hace meloni. Meloni es bueno.
And now I'm going to try and do some writing. Oh, that's just reminded me. Now I am, as I say, I am trying. No, I'm not trying. I am writing things like short introductions to Italian master painters, Caravaggio, Michelangelo, blah, 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 blah. But I've also, for many a year, been working on a novel, which I have got, well, I've got it all outlined, I've got it all planned, I have all the characters ready, but the actual writing of it, I keep stopping. And I don't know whether that's because I'm not in Italy, which is where it's based. And so I started writing it when I was in Italy. So that will give you a clue as to how long ago that was. Long time. And the desk that I should be writing at, which is next to my normal work desk, but not my work desk, is actually just a complete and utter shambles. So I need to completely I need to tidy it up. It's not redo anything, I just need to tidy it up. I don't need a printer anymore, so, you know, that could go away. All the notebooks that are just piled up. Not to mention yesterday's teacups and plates. I'm really bad at that as well. They always end up scattered around the house. So that's my plan. And I need to do something with that pretty darn smartly. As for what I'm reading at the moment, guess what? I've forgotten to bring the book in with me. Okay, so currently, well, I've been making hard work of Patrick Gale's Notes from an Exhibition. And I don't know why, because when I read it, I really enjoy it. It's beautifully written. That's the thing. It's beautifully written, but it's not going anywhere. And I always get... I've said in many of my reviews of books before, I like things with pace. I like to get on with it. I like to be moving. And this isn't taking me anywhere very fast. So I'm not thinking, oh, quick, finish the workday so I can pick up the book. That's not happening at the moment. So I'm making, it's hard going on that one. So I have decided to go for a historical novel, Philippa Gregory's Three Sisters, Three Queens. Did I get that the right way around? Yes, I did. And already, only read, whilst I was in Torre del Mar earlier, I had about 10 minutes before I needed to meet my client, so I popped into the library, which is next to the market, so it was like, oh, it was an oasis. And straight away, bonk, sit down, pick the book up, race through the first 10 pages, think, yes, I like this. Not only is it the period that I like, which is Tudors, but it's just, it's written so that you go along very nicely with it, and I can see that this is going to keep me interested. I will finish Notes from an Exhibition, but it's going to be slow. And I remembered, this was the book that I forgot to put in my February-March wrap-up, which is Patrick Gale, A Place Called Winter. And I had the same issue with this book. I picked it up. I thought I picked it up in March. I didn't. I picked it up at the beginning of February. And it took me to the end of March to read it, with lots of other books in between. Because it's just so slow. I just think, but it's nicely written, so I don't want to let it go because I enjoy it. And you can see I have my little stickies here. I have highlighted quite a few parts of it where I think, what a beautiful turn of phrase. I really enjoy that piece of writing. Oh, that's a nice insight. I didn't know that information. But still took me a heck of a long time to finish. One of the things that I highlighted in this book was the chap has gone to Canada because he's been found out to have had a homosexual relationship with someone, even though he's married. And of course, it's that time. It's pre First World War, so it's the turn of the century. And so he basically packed himself off to Canada, which it turns out lots of chaps went out to Canada, mainly the third sons, because they're of no use to man or beast, really. And they described it as, there's the heir and the spare, and the heiress beware. And most of us are the heiress beware. So they sent all these third sons out there because, like, what are you going to do? We've got the heir, we've got the spare, they've got married off, and they would try and marry the third sons off as well, but then they want to marry them off to a rich woman. And that just made me, I thought, heiress beware, that's quite funny, because you always wonder if you've got the heir and the spare, what the other ones are called. Then maybe there's something for the fourth and the fifth and the sixth sons. Who knows? So the story, as I say, is about a chap who has been found out to be homosexual by his wife's family. So off he trots, keeping up the pretense with his own family as to what he's doing. He also got conned out of some money, and off he goes to Canada, and he ends up with a place called Winter. A lot of them, they went out there to farm, and of course they didn't realise what it's like to farm in Canada because of the weather and this, that and the other. Anyway, quite a few things happen. I won't tell you about them, but he has, he gets classed as having mental health problems. So he's in the asylum, and he's sitting down with Gideon. Gideon is the doctor. And he says, places like Essendale exist because we don't know what else to do with people who threaten themselves or who frighten us by hearing voices or talking to people who aren't there. We have sought to catalogue all the ills of the mind, giving them tidy Latin names and subdivisions. Dementia praecox and hebephrenic schizophrenia, like so many strange flowers in a sinister corner of a garden. But really, they're of no more use than the fanciful names of the constellations. As for the treatments, we pretend we know what we're doing, using darkness or continuous baths or cold wraps or sedatives, but strictly speaking, it is all experimental, and every unfortunate inmate of a place like Essendale is a sad hybrid of an untried prisoner and guinea pig. So it does address the more sinister parts of Victorian and Edwardian society, where if people are seen to not follow society's rules or just be slightly out of the ordinary, then boom, into an asylum you go. And it was, as I say, very nicely written. But it wasn't something that I kept going, must read that, must pick up a place called Winter. No, and it's the same with Notes from an Exhibition as well. So that's why I have decided to go for the Philippa Gregory book, because I think it's going to move at a far quicker pace than the other one. I will still pick that one up. I might have that in my netball bag. Does that make sense? in the bag that I take when I'm coaching netball, because sometimes I get there early, and it's in Torre del Mar by the beach, so I can sit down for 10 minutes and have a quick read. And I think that the Notes from an Exhibition, is basically what that's going to be put as the quick read in between other things book. as opposed to the focus of an evening book. So that's where we go. So that was a very quick, or is it? Who knows? Video just to let you know my plans for my bookcases. And as I say, next week I will be filming that to show you just how bad the Italian and I are at working together in putting together bookcases, painting walls and organising things. So expect him to flounce off with me throwing something after him. But anyway, that'll be how it is. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!